Hi guys, we're back again. I'm going to talk to you today about 5 specific things that you need to do if you're struggling financially. See you inside in a second. Hey guys, thanks for coming back. Thanks for watching our content and subscribing to this channel. I'm Carlos.
I'm Alicia.
Well, in 2012, I was laid off from my job and everything drastically changed. What do you remember about 2012?
Well, I actually remember 2 years prior to that, something happened to that effect before that even happened. So that 2012 was actually our second hit.
You're absolutely right. Yep.
So like it was 2010, and I just graduated from college, and we sat down, and you were very quiet, and you announced that you were unemployed. And I remember I was like so joyful about finishing school, and that hit me like a bomb. There was this cold fear that just ran through my body, and all I can do was start thinking, what am I going to do? What am I going to do to help?
So we say that and we share these testimonies because we want you to know where we've come from. And I think one of the things that was, for me, certainly very pivotal during that period of 2012 is there was tremendous creativity that came to us during that time. And maybe you want to say what was the ministry that you launched in 2012?
My dance school.
Yeah.
And it was, I remember we were in the dentist with our kids,
I don't even remember that.
Medicaid dentist. No. And I'm leaning against the wall watching my child get treatment, and he whispers in my ear, he said, "Why don't you start a dance school?"
No.
And I remember just like, I must have had this strange look on my face, because I'm like, is he kidding me? We don't have jobs. We don't have money. And he was very serious. He said, I'm really serious. Let's go home and let's do this. And he to, true to his word, we went home. He started making contacts with people, built a website, incorporated, and Jubilee has been in business since 2012.
So in 2012 was when I really, when I was unemployed and we were trying to put together all the pieces, launched a comic book selling online eBay business. I've been on eBay since 1998, and to really supplement what we were getting, because we were getting unemployment, as I mentioned before, we were getting food stamps, we were getting WIC, we were getting, I don't know, maybe we got HEAP, we were getting just about anything we can get. But the comic book business has been something that has remained since 2012, and that's been 8 years now. In 8 years, the online eBay comic book business has sales that are about over $270,000 in that period of time. And so one of the things that I'm going to do over the course of these videos is really break down eBay and some other online platforms, a lot of e-commerce stuff. I've got a lot of years under my belt with that, and I think there's a lot of principles that I've used from scripture, and I applied them towards my business, and that's one of the big reasons I think the business has done well, and it's helped sustain us. Although $270,000 sounds like a lot, it hasn't been enough to be able to say, okay, let me just walk away from my job because I can do this full time. So that hasn't been the case. If you think you have interest in supplementing or even replacing your income through online e-commerce, I'm going to show you everything that I've learned. Hopefully it's enough to get you over the hump. So here's, remember I promised you 5 things to do, okay? So this is number 1. Learn effective financial principles. These episodes that we're doing in this particular channel is based on financial principles that are based primarily in scripture. Number 2, one of the things we're going to do and help you and work with you and provide you with the tools to do is to create a financial roadmap. And so when we talk about journey, I like this idea of creating a roadmap. And some of you guys are not aware of what a roadmap is. As a matter of fact, I think I have one right over there. Can you reach behind you to your right? You're going to see sitting right there. I'm going to show you this right. Some of you have no idea what this is. Especially if you are a millennial. You're saying, what the heck is that? And some of you people are a little bit more old school. You know exactly what this is. You probably see the letters backwards. This is what's called a roadmap. And believe it or not, there was a day back in the olden days when dinosaurs still roamed the earth.
Before Google Maps.
Before Google Maps, before your phones, when a person wanted to get from point A to point B, especially if you were leaving the city, you would need a map. And you would keep the map. Well, guess where you would keep the road map? Do you remember where the road maps were kept?
In the dashboard.
On the dashboard, in the glove compartment. And I used to have like 20 of them. I had like every state up and down the East Coast. And what you can do, as I wave this in front of my wife, she warned me before the video, don't you wave anything in front of my face. And she was going to hit me as well before we hit the roll camera. But what you would do is you'd actually be able to look at a road map out where you're at, where you need to go, and figure out where the exits are and the turns. It wasn't necessarily the most effective way to do it, but it would work. And trust me, when you're driving down the highway at 50 miles an hour, it is not the safest thing to pull this. I used to do it. I used to have this. I'm sure a lot of you guys did as well. You'd have this like on the steering wheel, and you'd drive, and you'd look down at the map at the same time. So there's a roadmap. So we're going to create, and we're going to work with you to create your own financial roadmap to say, where are you at? Where do you want to be? So that was number 2. Number 3, as I cover my own face. Number 3 is we're going to work with you specifically to create a spending plan. Notice I did not use the word budget. So we're calling it a spending plan. Why? Because every single person who's watching me right now, you spend. The difference is you might not spend according to a plan, but you spend. As a matter of fact, there's some of us who enjoy spending. Some of us enjoy going to the mall and grabbing a catalog. Did you want something you want to share right about now?
I do love spending. I love going to the mall and getting myself a little something special.
Yeah. And actually, this is one of the things. People who know me, some people who know me say I'm cheap. And I'm really not. My wife will attest to this. I actually like spending. I just like to be very intentional with the things that I spend on. So that's number 3. We're going to work with you to create a spending plan. Number 4, I promise you 5. Here's number 4, is to increase your standard of living and standard of giving. Studies have already shown like giving, generosity leads to better mental health. It leads to a longer life. It leads to greater satisfaction. Just being generous is like a great thing. So I think when I say increasing standard of living, I think everyone should be able to say that they live within their means, that they don't lose sleep over bills or bill collectors or how you're going to make ends meet, or if you get unemployed, what are you going to do next? And there's a lot of people who are facing that. So increased standard of living and increased standard of giving. You have to be able to do both, and that's one of the things we hope to accomplish with this channel. And number 5, final one, is to really be able to instill in everyone who's supporting the channel a sense of financial flexibility, to be able to say, yeah, we can go and, like one of the things that we're doing on the side, we're always doing so many things, we're also establishing a nonprofit organization. Mm-hmm. So if you want to do that, you can do that. If you want to say, yeah, I want to be able to pay for my kids' college education because that's something else we're dealing with. Our children are teenagers now. One is a preteen. And it won't be long where they will be in college. So how can we ensure that they're able to do that and not get in over their heads with debt and things like that? So it's about things like, and even something like college education. It might be, I want to be debt free. It might be, I just want to be able to breathe. Goodness gracious. It might be, I want to be able to finally get into my first house. Home ownership becomes critical, especially during times of financial uncertainty. So there's 5 specific actionable steps. That's what we intend to provide. It's going to be along those lines. I mean, I'm simplifying it. I think there's a lot more that we're going to give you. I think there's a lot more that you're going to get out of the content, always within the content, the context of principles from the Bible. Now, before I close out, I just want to remind you, we have some really, really interesting and exciting news. It's a particular approach, but I'm going to hold off. I'm going to announce it at the next video. I think I'm pretty much going to be doing the next video on my own, but tune in. Elise is going to be making appearances. You're going to see her on the thumbnail. She's always behind the scenes, so she's definitely a part of it. But we need 5 things from you. Number 1.
Hit the thumbs up to like this video.
That's the one we forgot in the first video. Number 2, we want you to ring the notification bell down below. This way every time we put out new content, you'll get a notification that we made a new video.
Hit the subscribe button.
Important. Number 4, we want you to share this video. Down below, there's a share button. If you think there are folks that might be able to benefit from the content, please share.
And if you have any questions or comments, this is number 5. You can also place that in the feedback area, down below.
We can edit that part out. We probably won't. But that's it for this episode. Coming back, some amazing content. That'll be in episode number 3. For now, God bless, and we will see you inside the next video.
God bless.